Jeff Gordon, and you're watching Racing America.
Indeed. Yeah, there it is. Indeed, you are watching Racing America and multiple platforms. It is hashtag Real Race Talk Live on your Tuesday night. The Revved Up Sports Show coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas. My name is Rodney Rodriguez. Looking forward to about an hour and 10 minutes of great programming that we have coming up for you this evening with this live edition of the Revved Up Sports Show. And I do remind you, as you were checking out the program tonight, be sure and go ahead and comment right there. A lot of folks comment after the fact. I see a lot of comments where folks will come in and they'll have different thoughts, different opinions of things that we're talking about on the show well after the fact. But the thing about it is, this is one of the few, this is absolutely one of the few that you were going to have absolutely 150% live. And that's why a lot of times when we're trying to bring in guests that those things get just a little bit jacked up. But that's why we do it live. And that's why we do it for you each and every Tuesday night. So a very calculated risk that we took here with this tonight. I'm sure a lot of you maybe over on the pay-per-view stream trying to check out the Celebration of America's 300 over at Oxford Plains. Obviously, there is a rain delay happening there. So well underway track preparation and trying to get that racetrack back in order. So you guys can hang out with us here for just a little bit, hang out with me right now. And we will try to get you updated information as we can about that. We'll be monitoring that with the Racing America stream just as much as we can as that continues to go on tonight. Showtime Bobby Chaffee usually joining me. He's trying to jump in right here, but he is over in Vegas this week, a vacation time for him. So trying to bring him on right there. I don't know if maybe we have him on the sound. Matter of fact, there he is right there. Look at that guy, man. You still have your shirt on, man. So I guess you haven't quite lost your ass all the way yet, have you? Well, maybe he has. I think he's possibly lost his internet connection is what he has possibly lost. So, Bobby, if you can hear me there, maybe kill the camera and we'll try it that way. But on the show tonight, very special show that we have this evening coming up here in about, we'll call it about 10 minutes or so. Going to check in with, of course, if you've watched Dirty Air on Racing America, you've seen J.D. Boucher with me on several different times. That is one of my great friends in the racing industry. Just a very special week for those folks. She's in Speedway, Indiana. She's going to check in live as Mr. Jack. Mr. Jack going into the USAC Hall of Fame. We'll talk about that. We'll talk to her about that, just the career right there, everything that the Boucher family has done. I mean, it's a very long tenured career that Jack had. She'll kind of break all of that down. It's a real special time for them. So I wanted to be sure and try to get her on and let them share in all of that with our great fan base that we have here. And coming up a little bit later on at 7:35, and these times are all central. 7:35, we will talk to Carson Green. So if you were checking out the Legacy action this past weekend, as you had the Gulf Coast double Friday night at Five Flag Speedway, and then at Mobile International Speedway on Saturday night, you had the Legacy cars making their debut at Pensacola and then heading back over to the show there at Mobile. You had our man Carson Green doubling up right there and winning both of those in pretty dominating fashion. So we'll talk to that young dude here in just a little bit, just past the bottom of the hour, and get his thoughts on everything with that. And that's it's a real cool story with that dude. And that dude's name is Hollywood Carson Green. I've been following his career for about 2.5, 3 years. Obviously a Texas guy here in the eastern portion of Texas. And he's really made his way up the ranks right there. And one of the things that I really want to talk to him about is in 2025, we have seen a dramatic change in this guy and to where he has gotten, it's like a total mind shift. I know that he's had some different help and different folks that are working with him on his race cars. It's not only the Legacy, he's now in a pro truck as well. But this dude is just like blown into the scene, and it's a totally different kid. It's a very, very young kid. So looking forward to that conversation coming up here in just a little bit. Also, we will talk a little bit later about races coming up. It's a 4th of July weekend, so you know that it's going to be stacked We'll talk about the stuff happening here in Texas, and then we'll talk about stuff happening around the country. And then, of course, you do have NASCAR news from this past weekend. You had some really breaking NASCAR news today. I'll touch on that a little bit later on in the show, but all of that a little bit later on in the show. But thank you all for being a part of the program. I do ask you to follow me on Twitter at the Rodney R. That's the best place where you can go in and keep up with everything that's happening here on Revved Up. Of course, at Racing America. Be sure and jump on those socials so you'll know exactly what's going on in the racing world, because we do cover it from wall to wall. It's local, it's regional, it's national. We even go international sometimes when we have to do that. It's not that often, but we do that every now and then. All right, let's go to Speedway, Indiana. Take a look right there. There she is. Stunning as usual.
I try. Well, I had to be sure my hair was done for this week. It was extra important.
I tell you what, you did one hell of a job. So I shaved my beard the other day by mistake, and people are like, "You look a little younger." I'm like,
"Who are you?" Right?
Who is this guy?
Who is him?
No, but JD Boucher, JD, I'm so excited for you guys. I'm living through you guys. You're in Speedway, Indiana. Let's so talk about you know with Mr. Jack going into the USAC Hall of Fame. Just kind of talk about who all's there.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So Grandpa is getting inducted into the USAC Hall of Fame. Super huge, right? But one of my non-related heroes, Dave Darlin, is also getting inducted in tomorrow as well. So it's really extra huge for me. So Trenton said he'd bring me a new shirt. So I'm super excited about seeing Dave too. It's just so exciting. Mom's here with me. My boyfriend Derek came. Uncle Bobby's here. My cousin Brittany. So we all came. We got some uncles that couldn't come. Gary and Bones didn't come, but still they're here. I'm really excited that Bobby's here and he's going to get to be a part of it. So it's just really exciting and very special for us. And a lot of people have came on and said, I want to clarify that, it's about time that Jack's inducted. The USAC Hall of Fame is not that old. So it's not like we have been dissed. Right. This is done properly. They have done things the right way. So don't confuse them with the NASCAR Hall of Fame. They're not putting the wrong people in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, that's the thing about it, to where what I really like about that is when you have a Hall of Fame right there, you go and you find the ones that belong, and just kind of give. I mean, we could sit here and talk for hours if we're going to talk about everything, but like with Grandpa, it's not just USAC. I mean, talk about everything that he did. USAC. I mean, and we'll kind of break it down as we go.
Small piece of it. ARCA obviously is huge. I feel like we're most synonymous with ARCA. I mean, obviously, Grandpa's got 3 championships. Uncle Bobby's got 2 championships. We got 6 car runner championships. Uncle Gary was a championship crew chief. I mean, we just won it all, right? Pit crew competition. So that's what we're really associated with. But I feel like that's really because the USAC stock car series went away so early back in the 80s, so people don't really know about it, but it was just as tough as NASCAR, if not tougher. You got all your Petties and all your Yarburrs and all that down south. When you come up here, you got Andretti's, you got Foyt's, you got Fittipaldi's, you got Parnelli Jones. You've got real heavy hitters. So don't ever discredit the USAC stock car series. But Grandpa also did Cup. Grandpa ran Cup races. We did the 1976 24 Hours Daytona, the only year they ever held a stock car series for that. Overall winners, the 21 car driven by Jim Bowser, my dad, my uncle Gary Bowser, and the Pearsons. But that is a Bowser car built in Springfield. There was also a motor change and a transmission change overnight, and they finished 15th overall.
Oh, man.
I mean, I could go on for a long time, but those are the big ones.
Absolutely incredible. And isn't that the thing where I think right now people don't realize, like with Jack, I mean, to do what he did back then, I mean, right now, these guys haven't made in the shade. JD.
They have no idea. And the Grandpa developed the down tube modified. That design, that chassis design, that premise is still in play today. A lot of people don't know that. Brittany and Bobby went to the Speedway today. They got here way earlier than I did. I was like, Brittany, do you know what stock car driver actually did the very first tire test at Daytona or at Indianapolis? She said, no, Dale Earnhardt, right? Wrong. Grandpa Jack and AJ Foyt did that in the 60s. So there is so much more there than people will ever even know.
Yeah. So what's kind of the mood right there? Because I think a lot of this is when you have something like this, I mean, obviously you guys are fired up and excited, but it's like, this is when people that really know what Mr. Jack did, where they show up. How many people have you guys run into where it's like, they start telling you stories? I can only imagine how long tonight's going to be.
Yeah, I do know there's I saw there's a Facebook page called the Jack Bowser Hall of Fame. Go join it. There's all kinds of cool pictures and information on there. I saw where some of Grandpa's fans are going to come. Like, that is so cool. I'm so excited to meet some of those people that I've never gotten to meet and hear what they have to say and hear their stories. Because I'm sure there's a lot that I did not hear or maybe was not told adequately, but I want to hear their side.
Oh, no doubt about it. And kind of touch on that with the USAC stuff, because I as a kid, and I'm a lot older than you are, it's USAC stock cars were one of the first major league things that I got to see. And, going back and I always remember the name. That's why it was always so cool to connect with you, because it's like, Bowser, I know who that is. I mean, I seriously know who that is. But outside of the race car, talk about some of the people that drove his cars that won in these race cars. Unbelievable, some of these people.
Everybody. A who's who of back in the day. Obviously, AJ Foyt. AJ's the man. AJ can drive anything. Him and Grandpa, believe it or not, as rough and tumble, as much assholes as they both were, they got along great. That's probably why they got along so well. AJ drove for Grandpa. Bobby Unser, another big one. Mario Andretti. Joe Ruttman. Obviously, David and Larry Pearson. So it's just not anybody. It was a who's who of back in the day got into Jack Bowser's car. You had to be somebody. If you weren't winning, you weren't getting in.
That's it. And that's the thing, because from what I recall about those days, it was always where you would watch. Obviously, you had a NASCAR race, you had the Grand National race, whatever it was, the late model Sportsman Busch Series, whatever that was. But USAC stock cars were, that was the shit. Because you had the USAC stock cars, you had the IndyCar division, which was USAC at that point. That's where the real racing was back in those days.
Yes, it really, really was. And there are videos online of USAC stock car races. Go watch them. They are better than stuff you will see on Sundays now. Those boys beat and bang. They were real racers, real drivers. They get out, work on their cars, go to victory lane, go fight afterwards, and grab a beer. It was awesome.
Oh man, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. JD, let's. You mentioned it a while ago about ARCA, and I think that's the whole thing where a lot of times too, where people hear y'all's last name and it's like that's what they resonate to.
Yeah.
Talk about that part. I got to see him run an ARCA race. I told you this on Dirty Air.
Yeah.
I got to see one of the last ones that he ever raced.
It was one of the last ones. Yeah, poor Grandpa. God bless him. He got pulled out of retirement a few times to practice the car if somebody was late, but. The ARCA thing, I lived, and it was the end of it. It was really cool. It was awesome because, it was literally our entire family in a toter home when Uncle Bobby started, going down the road. Our entire crew was our family. It was my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my uncles, my aunts, my second cousins, my third cousins. Everybody was a Bowser. It was great. We were winning races. We were backed by Ford. We had awesome sponsors. It was just great. All the way up until it ended with Todd back in the, early mid 2000s. It was so much fun. And it was so great to be able to go to a track and people be like, oh, I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm glad the Bowsers are here. They always wanted to come talk to Grandpa and tell stories about Grandpa or tell us this. It was just, I consider ARCA to be my home, but I'm really glad that USAC did this. And I would like to make that my second home.
And isn't that the thing where I think a lot of folks, some of the new people, and with good reason, they hear ARCA Menards, and they're like, man, boo.
I don't blame them right now.
Well, yeah.
How could you not be? It's a bunch of spoiled little rich kids out there wadding stuff up for the most part.
But it's like they don't know the ARCA that we know, right?
ARCA back in the day was legit. You had to be ahead. The Frank Kimballs, the Tim Steeles, the Bobby Bowsers, the Blaze Alexanders, the Harris Devanes, the Bob Brevaks, the Bob Keselowskis. Those guys are the real drivers because they were not there just spending their money. They were out there working. Tim kind of was, but that's okay. He still worked on his car.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's, championships in ARCA. All of that right there. It really is to where, and I as well, I'm glad that USAC is doing this because I think ARCA should have something like this because they're so far way behind the curve to where they have let time pass and these people haven't been honored. Yeah,
I think eventually they'll get there. I'm going to try to harp on Dreger and Crawl about that and see what I can do about that. At least get somebody in there, even if it's just Iggy. But yeah, I would like to see them get up on it, before I'm dead.
Yeah. Yeah. JD, we're talking about all the racing and all this, but with Independence Day coming up, obviously with July 4th, I think this is probably even more special for you guys in the sense that not only that Mr. Jack is being honored for all these accomplishments. I mean, this is a Navy man.
Yes.
This is a guy. Kind of talk about that part. I mean,
absolutely. Grandpa was stuck on a submarine for like a year. I don't know how he did it. But yeah, he was a Navy man. So he went and he enlisted. He was military. He had his tattoo. He did not play, and he would tell you about it. That was one of the roughest men I ever met. And part of it was because he was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And isn't that like kind of a while ago, JD, when you were talking about with some of these new kids, new people, we'll say new people, because there are younger, there are people in their 30s that act that way also. They don't understand what these people before them did and how they had to do it and how they raced it.
Make it
right.
As Grandpa would say.
Right. It was for fun, maybe for a living, whatever the case was, but you had to work your ass off, and it's just not there anymore.
No, there is not that. My Uncle Gary told me a story not that long ago. Back in the day, ARCA used to run a doubleheader at Toledo and Flat Rock. And it was Friday, Saturday. Well, if you wadded up on Toledo or at Flat Rock on Friday, you were screwed for the next day. Well, Uncle Bobby somebody got into him, and Grandpa was like, "Oh, boys, we ain't going to make it." Bobby and Gary said, "Bullshit. We're running for a championship." Those boys worked all damn night, got in the car. We drove to the racetrack the next day, worked on the car there, ran the race, drove home, made it. Ain't nobody doing that today. A lot of people aren't.
Yeah. I mean, here's another name when it comes to ARCA. I mean, Benny Parsons, and this is where so many folks, I was actually having a conversation with people today, and they were talking about old DW. And I'm like, okay, you call him DW. I call him Darrell Waltrip. That's a race.
I call him Darrell Waltrip. The mouth of the South.
Right.
Yeah.
Jaws.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I call him.
Yeah. It's a whole different time, but for this to be going down there of all places there, it's got to be just so cool to be. I can see it on your face. I mean, you're like
I'm so happy to be here. I've been waiting for this my whole life, so I'm ready.
Absolutely. So what's the agenda for all of this happening tomorrow? Because it'll be July 2nd.
Tomorrow at noon, there's a luncheon, a private luncheon for ticket holders only. And then after that, the ceremony is going to be opened up to the public here at the USAC headquarters in Speedway. So if you're in the area, if you don't have a ticket, you don't have to come to the lunch. Go down to Donato's, get you some pizza, and show up at the headquarters and come on in.
So what are they going to do, JD? Is it one of those things? Obviously, they'll have the ceremony. I would assume there'll be a plaque. Is there something that they're going to?
Sure. I don't really know. I'm kind of here for the surprise, so I don't really know.
Oh, hell, are you going to?
They don't have to give me nothing. I'm just happy to be here.
Are you going to get up there and grab the mic and sit there and start talking? I think you should.
I'd be damn happy to. I mean, they might take it away from me, but that's okay.
They're not going to do that. They will absolutely not do that. We can kind of touch more on that here as we go on, but with you, obviously. So what's been going on with you? I mean, it's been a little bit since we've connected. Yeah,
that's okay. I'm a bit Simpson. I actually have Race Pass up on my phone right now. I'm usually at Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm usually at Millbridge Speedway, checking on my little babies, but I'm not there. So I'm like, oh gosh, I'm freaking out. Like, where is everybody? Like, speaking of Tim Steele, his grandson actually runs at Millbridge, and he's a Simpson kid. So I'm trying to keep up with Alex right now. But yeah, I just stay busy with that. So if anybody needs a suit or something, or a new hybrid, or needs your hybrid resorted, please let me know. I don't want to see you out there with that stuff. Not right.
That's right. Yeah. The Tim Steele, the HS die number 16, man.
Yep.
It's like, that car, that dude, that's another one of those guys where it's like, man, what could have been, what should have been.
Alex drives just like him. You can watch the Tim in him. It's amazing. It's so cool to watch.
Oh man, that's awesome. So with Simpson, I mean, with you being a part of that, which by the way, I think I've told you multiple times that that suit picture of you needs to be a poster. That should be hanging up in every race shop everywhere. Because
I'll talk to my manager and see if we can get it in the store. But
yeah, connect my people with your people.
Yeah.
Which means you and I.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You and I.
I have no people. I have 2 dogs. Those are my people. But with Simpson continuing to be just an innovator in racing apparel, and it frustrates me to the ultimate when I would go to a local racetrack and I don't care what class it is, these guys and ladies, they need to, whether it's gloves, whether it's head and neck restraints, whether it's a good quality in-date helmet, a suit, I don't care how many layers, you've got to take care of yourself. That's your melon in that helmet. And so many people just don't get that part.
Oh my gosh, it drives me insane. I will go to the racetrack now and I just spot like safety problems, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, this suit has this, your hybrid's not right, your belts are out of date, your helmet's not snug enough. So it does drive me crazy. So your safety is very important, people, and your helmet does need to be snug. Your hybrid needs to be very tight. It needs to be able to wrap back through the buckle, and your belts need to be in date. I cannot stress this enough. Also, please, for the love of God, do not wash your suit with Gain. No, take it to the dry cleaners, folks. Get some molecule wash. You will burn otherwise.
Yeah, I remember that when I would I would go way back when in the 90s, JD, when I was
dry cleaners.
Yeah, I would take it to the dry cleaner and I'd show up and it was still in the plastic and people are like, well, aren't you fucking fruity duty? I'm like, no, I don't want to fry in that car.
It will destroy the Nomex. You cannot wash your fire suit, folks. If you do, you have to use the molecule wash. Dry clean it, please.
Oh my goodness. It is so crazy. That's so important. I see folks that want to spend all this money on the car, on the shocks, on the motor.
But you're wearing this cheap old 1-layer suit that's got holes in it. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Full of oil and dirt.
Yes.
Yeah, you're rolling around out there, and it's just quite the mess. So for you, just kind of maybe taking a little step back, everything you've observed this year, we're very much. It seems like as the years go on, things get a little shittier. I will be very honest with you. I think that's honestly a reason that I've taken a step back and am just doing these shows now because I'm just kind of tired of the bullshit.
Yes.
Your thoughts, just. We got the youngsters. We've got the people that just no respect.
It's crazy. First of all, if you wreck a car, please make that kid go out there and cut that clip off because they have no idea what it takes. They're like, oh, somebody's, it's whatever. No, that's a lot of money. That cup race on last weekend when they wrecked like 20 cars on my lap, whatever it was, that is ridiculous. What are we doing? What are you people doing? Use your head. Just because you don't have to fix it doesn't mean somebody else does. Just because it's not, you're not hard up for that money doesn't mean somebody else is. Have some decency and have some respect, folks. Let's get it together. And this is not a video game. Don't come at me with your I run iRacing. You don't run shit.
Yeah.
A video game is not real life.
It's very much the different thing to where it's like, I talk to a lot of people where it's like, yeah. I can jump on the PlayStation.
Totally different.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can get on the PlayStation 5 and win at Martinsville. I ain't going to win there in real life.
My footwork's not nearly good enough. Hell no.
No, absolutely not. Is there a series for you on pavement? I've kind of, again, this is where we've connected in the past, been partial to the Cars Tour. I know.
Yeah. I'm always been partial to the Cars Tour. It's kind of like home for me. I did see where my buddy Brandon Ward is running Caraway this week. I'm so sad I'm not going to be there, but I'm really digging the ASA series right now, the National Board.
Yeah.
I mean, Cole Butcher is on fire. He is the man. I cannot say enough good things about Cole.
Dude, isn't it great when you see a guy like that? Yes. I mean, he wins in Pensacola. I mean, he's undefeated in Pensacola. And it's this dude. It's like, okay, I can be happy about that.
And he's such a nice guy. Cole's such a nice dude. Like, I love him to death. Like, and he's a great driver. And you can just go and talk to him. And he treats everybody so well. I'm so happy to see him doing good. I really want him to win the championship this year. That's what I want.
Yeah. One of the first times I reached out to him, I mean, he was like, this dude replies and calls me. He's like, man, I'd love to talk to you. He didn't know who the hell I was. I mean, he's like, dude, absolutely. But so with the Cars Tour, it really seems like with the ownership change, because I thought as that was going to happen, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Here's where we start going down that bottom part of the roller coaster.
Yep.
They've handled that pretty well, I gotta say.
They have. For the most part, they have. If you go to the garage area, there's obviously going to be some people that definitely are not liking the direction, but you're going to have that. So is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't think we're going to know for another 5 years.
Yeah.
I think what Dale Jr., the spotlight on short track racing in general is astronomical. I just don't want to see the Cars Tour get ruined.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really big deal. That's super important. So back to Mr. Jack, kind of to close it out. I think one of the things that as I have studied about him and learned to know more about him and talk to you at different points, what was always so interesting about him and gratifying to see was he took care of his stuff. He was having to work on it himself when he was behind the wheel, and then putting people behind the wheel. It was always one of those things to where his teams were built in a way that they were built. If you're not going to win, you're going to do the best that you're going to do on that given race day.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like all balls or nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack just did it the right way.
Yeah, it's either his way, the highway, and it was all 100%. And you're either going to do it right or you're not going to do it at all. If you're going to go out there and run like a fool, you're not going to run that damn car. If you're not going to come work on the car, you're not going to drive the car. He actually pulled my dad for that very reason. So when you show up to the track with our stuff, you better show up ready to run. There's no working on it. No. You show up, you unload, you go on the track.
Well, and I think that's the other part, something you alluded to a while ago. I mean, if there's a guy driving for him, I don't give a damn if it's AJ Foyt, Parnelli Jones, or whoever, you, JD. It's like you were driving that car. You're going to get your ass out there and you're going to, grab a wrench. I mean, you need to be involved in that, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's that. There's none of that in this family. There is none of that. Absolutely no. We all had to do something. Everybody.
Absolutely. Doing it the right way. And that's what makes your family so great. So excited for you guys. That's why I reached out to you. And I'm like, man, we got to talk about this. We got to share in this. Send me pictures tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'm going to document the hell out of everything. So
pictures, videos, everything that you have. So tonight, you're going to go burn the town down? What? I
don't know. I think I'm just going to lay low for tonight. I'm not going to try to get arrested before tomorrow. So that's in town. It's just that the wheel drivers are wild.
That would be the dirty girl in you coming out right there. It's like, where's JD? She's in the clink. No, we don't need that. Again, thank you so much for being a part of this, especially live there from Speedway. Anytime, reach out anytime. Let's talk some racing. It's a different environment these days.
Absolutely, so is yes.
Yeah. All right. Take care. I'm proud of you guys. Love you guys, and I'll see you soon. All right. See you later. There she goes, JD Bowser. Man, so excited for Jack. It was. I've talked about this before on Dirty Air, to where it was like she mentioned right there, where he kept getting pulled back into different aspects right there of driving. I saw him one of the final races he ever drove. It was at Texas World Speedway, when you had the Ishin Motorsports Group comes in, and that 1991 you had one of the ARCA Winston West things right there, and I see the 21 car rolling out, and I'm like, wait a minute, 21. It's got to be Bowser. And, I have my program, where you get over there and you buy the $3 program, there from the racetrack, and you go flipping through there looking for the drivers, and boom, there he is. I'm like, that is so fucking cool right there. So obviously one of the highlights for me, and that's where it's been so cool to get to do different things with JD. And again, if you're looking like we talk about with safety apparel, all the different things, that is so important. Race car drivers, I don't care if you're a woman, you're a man, you're a youngster, you're an old dude, whatever. You're putting your melon in one of those helmets. You're putting all of your beautiful body into one of those suits, and your little feet, you're putting them into those shoes. You have got to get in there and take care of that. It's I think I just saw the email address pop up there. I'll get that for you guys here in just a little bit. But we will get that for you. It is actually jdbowser@holly.com, right there. So if you're looking for that, be sure and check them out. And thank you for the folks checking in right there, talking about how great those suits are and that safety apparel. They are the leading innovator in all of that stuff. That is Simpson Race Products. A great week on Independence Day weekend for a veteran, for the great Mr. Jack. I will just call him Mr. Jack. Got more coming up. Bottom of the hour coming up in just a couple of minutes. Going to talk to a young dude right here out of Texas that goes over to the Gulf Coast and dominates in the Legacy Series. It is our man Carson Green. He is coming up. All of that, your thoughts right here. Be sure and check in. #Real Race Talk. Still a little bit of a rain delay happening over at Oxford Plains. That's why we are live right now. Right now, you can be a part of the program and drop your live thoughts. It is the Revved Up Sports Show.
Welcome to the My Race Pass app, the #1 app for motorsports fans. We want to make sure you get the most out of your My Race Pass app experience. With your new free account, you can use the My Race Pass app to see race day information, including event entries and official lineups and results for over 600 organizations across North America. You can also see track information and purchase online event tickets for select tracks. With your free account, you can also search for a track or series on the My Race Pass app and favorite their profile to receive news and race day notifications on your mobile device. To see more information and to see which app subscription is best for you, be sure to visit getmrpapp.com. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Looking to start a new career path in motorsports or searching for something new in your racing journey? Racer Jobs is your destination for providing the most current job openings from top racing teams, manufacturers, sanctioning bodies, and suppliers. Whether you're a budding race engineer, a seasoned mechanic, or a marketing ace, we consistently refresh our listings with new roles that could meet your ambitions. Looking for a great candidate as an employer? Then tap into our Racer Jobs audience and database to find that perfect candidate. Go to racerjobs.com today.
All right, back. Hashtag Real Race Talk. It is the Revved Up Sports Show live coming to you on a Tuesday. A little bit of a rain delay continues at that Celebration of America at Oxford Plains. That's a pay-per-view event on Racing America. Again, don't freak out. You've got this happening on Tuesday. So I would assume, and again, this is just me thinking that if for some reason you can't or they cannot get the Tuesday part of the program in, that this would roll into maybe trying to make it a more compact Wednesday event, maybe an earlier start time. I don't know. Again, this is just me throwing darts at the wall. Of course, you got the American Canadian Tour. That qualifying, you had 2 qualifying races that were supposed to be going on this evening. Again, continued to check in on Racing America to see if that's something that is able to happen. You've got the must-see sprint car, so all of that is going down. But one of the things that JD and I talked about right there is you did have this past weekend with that doubleheader, and again, Carson Green coming up. We'll talk about the legacy side of that as they make their debut at Five Flags Speedway and then moving over to Mobile, where you've had a couple of races there. But it is Cole Butcher once again in the Southern Super Series, just continuing to pad that point lead as the road to the Snowball Derby continues. And you have to think with Cole Butcher on the roll that he is on right now. I mean, this dude is undefeated at Five Flags. He's and this is one of those situations to where these races have been he's damn near untouchable right now. I mean, it's been a run that we've watched Cole Butcher go on that, and it's not really surprising. This is, if you go back and you think about last year, you actually did have Butcher that was on a really good roll last year. And then you had some other, a medical situation that kind of popped in and kind of derailed all of that. And of course, all of that beyond his own doing right there. But what we're watching Cole Butcher do right now is pretty damn special. And with the win on Friday night at Pensacola, the win there over Matt Craig, Stephen Nasse, Jake Finch, and then Jet Nolan. And that top 5 of Southern Super Series super late model drivers, I mean, that's some of the finest you're going to find in the country. We get these conversations that happen, from time to time where it gets isolated, where we start talking about super late models. And we've talked about this here on the program and on Dirty Air with so many different guys, to where it's like North versus South, and then you culminate all of these drivers together. But when you have that top 5, this race in the South, I mean, with Butcher winning there over Craig, Nasse, and Finch and Nolan, I mean, that's some of the best of the best. And just in the manner that we're watching this happen for Cole Butcher, it's pretty damn impressive. And to punch that ticket, obviously the Snowball Derby is the big goal at the end of the year, but we've watched this in the past, and I think that's what's going to be so fascinating as we get towards December and start getting towards Derby time in Pensacola, is where we've seen drivers in these dominating fashions that, for whatever reason, because that 300 lap race in early December is a whole different animal. I mean, getting into that, qualifying is so important. Everything that happens there, it is such a different animal. Obviously, the regular season, Southern Super Series, ASA championships, all of these things, UARA, these drivers, it's so important to win those championships and do all these different things. But when that green flag drops on Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. in Pensacola for the Snowball Derby, it's all gloves off. But right now, it definitely does seem, if you're a betting person, that Cole Butcher would be a guy that you'd want to lay a little bit of smack on, because he's dominating when it comes to Pensacola at the moment. Speaking of the Gulf Coast, and speaking of what we just saw this weekend, we welcome in, joining us once again here on the Revved Up Sports Show, one of our Texas guys. And we talked a couple of weeks ago about the Legacy Series heading over for their doubleheader. No strangers to Mobile, heading over to the high banks, but for the first time on the half-mile Five Flags Speedway, it was the Legacies heading over to the famed Five Flags Speedway. This dude picks them up both. One fast-looking car, number 51. It is our man. You guys say this right. Hollywood Carson Green. Carson, how we doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Is the Wi-Fi good this time?
You're good to go, man. You are definitely good to go. So take me through it, dude. First of all, so let's say going from Houston to Mobile. Mobile's a bad, fast, big old half-mile animal, man. Kind of talk about the transition right there to where it's like you get to the big half miles and it's like, holy smoke, these things, it's all straight away.
Yeah, man, I'm telling Denny, like, my first ever time there in April, I think I was telling Denny, I'm like, dude, this is way faster than Houston. And in that case, it made me faster at Houston with how fast we're going 100 miles down the straightaway, dragging it in the corner. Yeah, it's a lot different. I'll tell you that. Big half-mile track.
So Carson, for you guys in the Legacies, and I kind of talked about this last on the show last Wednesday or Thursday, whenever that was, to where it's like I figured that you guys were going to be so. Are you sitting in that car in the half mile and you're like, you're on the gas and you're like, God, I want more, because it's like you just want more on a big old monster like that.
I mean, I guess with how much of the lead I had last race, probably a little too much, probably like, but no, I mean, I guess you could say that. I mean, that's how I feel sometimes, but you're still moving, especially.
So Carson, let's talk about Friday night. So to win a race at Pensacola, your first thoughts on Five Flags. Number one, the surface. It looks really smooth on TV, but you hear about how treacherous and everything it is. Kind of walk me through your first thoughts of getting on the track at that old lady over there. She's a little used up right now.
Yeah, I'll say the bumps on turn 3. It's a bumpy track. I'll say that for sure, especially in the pro truck running it into Snowball before I think they said they fixed it, the bumps a little bit, but I mean, it's a rough track to learn, especially. But I feel like, once you get the hang of it, having a bunch of laps there, especially for me and Cole Peavy, especially being there a lot more than me, which kind of set the race. Like, okay, Carson and Cole are going to be the top 2. They both have experience at this track. That's how I kind of felt going into the race. I wasn't as nervous, but I feel the track is pretty bumpy. It's not as smooth as it looks. I'll tell you that right now.
So Carson, talk about that part. I mean, you go in there and obviously, our contingent here from Texas, all of you guys go down there and man, you guys, you shined. When folks say, well, pavement racing in Texas, blah, blah, blah. Boom, here's all these cars coming from Texas where pavement racing is dead, supposedly. Talk about that part, man, because you had some dudes that have a lot of laps on that place, and you beat him pretty good on Friday night.
Yeah, I feel like that way, but it was pretty scary halfway through the race. I realized I had no brakes. But I'm glad all the Texas guys came down there. But I feel like for me, it's kind of different. I know I'm young, but I feel like I've come there to win, and I get nervous. I come there to win, but I feel like a bunch of people that came there didn't really know the track because it's the Snowball Derby track. I feel like they kind of came there. Oh, I raced at Five Flag Speedway. Well, I want to be able to say I've won at Five Flag Speedway, especially on the Snowball Derby track. I feel like I want to be able to say that, or I've won the Snowball Derby. I feel like I have a different kind of feeling and what I want to do. I want to do more than just say, oh, I've raced here. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So then, Carson, when you go over to Mobile, then you head over there. That's a place you're more acclimated with. Kind of talk about that part. You get over there, you had all that confidence going. Kind of talk about the transition, getting over the big high right there of winning on Friday night at the Snowball Derby track. Carson, how was it on Saturday? Kind of a little bit of did you kind of let your hair down? You're like, okay, that part's done.
Well, I kind of felt like that, but I was like, okay, I've got 1 of 2 already done. Let's go ahead and get this 2 out of 2. I felt the same way. I mean, it was still nervous for me for sure, especially running 2 classes that night. The truck was okay. We ran like 6, I think, but it was a lot faster that night. I qualified a little bit better, but the car, I mean, it was on rails. Denny Burton has our car good, especially, and Chad Rogers also.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we've got a great crew. Just, I mean, we don't have like 30 people working on our cars. We have the big teams. I mean, that's what kind of makes me feel better, especially going on an open trailer to the track. It just kind of it makes me look better and has more respect for me. I like respect better than just looks.
So Carson, talk about that part, because that's one thing that I really wanted to hone in with you. It's like it seems like, and again, it's maturity, it's different things. I know that you're a very young, very talented race car driver, but Carson, it's like something has happened, and it's like, boom. I remember you there at Houston. I mean, you're very charismatic guy, but dude, what in the hell has happened right here? Because dude, you were wheeling as well as anybody in the freaking nation right now, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, in September of last year, when I had a very bad night at Houston. I mean, I was taking people out left and right. I mean, it was not a good night for me, and it just, everybody wanted to take a petition to ban me from the track, and next November, H&P track owner talked to me. I forgot his name, just another part of that, but he talked to me about trying to ban me from the track and tell me to earn respect and calm down, and I took that into my own words, and I won that night, and that changed my perspective of racing way, I mean, a lot, and that's when I earned my respect a lot that night, especially in running at Mobile in April. That made me even quicker at Houston, especially. But I mean, just the older I get, the more mature for sure, and I like to earn respect, like I already said. But yeah, that's how I feel about racing right now.
Yeah, yeah. And over on the truck side, I mean, it's one thing, obviously, with the progression that you've had, with the legacy, you've been in that car a little bit longer. But the thing about it is, with the truck, that program has come together, and you are just so solid right now, and you're making moves on the racetrack that are just unbelievable to watch. Let's talk about that part of the program. How has that come together for you?
It's going good. I think I'm third in points right now, so I just got to keep on digging. I would have been further if I didn't get a DNF with my radiator cap falling off in the second race, but I mean, that's all right. So the truck's doing pretty good. Jared Muppin's a very fast driver. That's a truck you got to catch up to me. He's very fast. He earns a lot of respect. He's a cool guy. I've talked to him a couple times. But I mean, the truck goes pretty okay. I mean, I'm still learning a lot. It's different because the Allison car has no power steering, so I'm jerky with the car a little bit, but the truck's a lot. You want to be a lot smoother and get fast times. That's how you click off some fast times. So that's how I feel about the truck in Houston, especially.
Carson Green joining us here on the Revved Up Sports Show, winner of the Gulf Coast Double in the or the Legacies. We'll call them Legacies. This past weekend there at Pensacola and over at MIS. Had a little bug whisper in my ear that wanted me to ask you a little nugget about this past weekend. What was the whole Bubba Pollard effect here from this past weekend? I think you probably know who the little bug is when I say that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So the second place finisher that Denny, my mechanic, was talking to him, and I guess Bubba Pollard was working on his car, and Denny came over there and tell me that as we're taking the shocks off the truck. He's like, yeah, he's telling me about Bubba Pollard working on his car. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And I told him, like, why don't we have him working on our car as a joke? But I probably said it a little too quick for it to be a joke, so he took a little bit different. So I mean, but I told him the car, I'm just messing with you, because if I had him, if my car's on rails, so I don't think I need to go any faster or have a different setup. So that's what I told him. I was just messing with him.
Dude, that's how you motivate the crew right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you do that right there. That's a reverse psychology right there. I think that worked really, really well right there. Talk about Denny. I mean, that's a guy that he's done every different thing that you can. I mean, you've been a tech guy, a driver, car owner, just everything. When you have that sort of tool chest in your corner, that's a guy that's going to come in and he's just going to make you. What does he say to you as a driver? Does he drop you some of those nuggets to where it's like, calm your ass down?
I'll probably keep it clean a little bit, but I'll keep that between me and him. But yeah, so that's how it kind of goes. But that's how it keeps me in line and gets me good on the racetrack and focused. So
absolutely. Yeah. Not a bad thing at all. Not a bad thing at all when you have somebody like that jumping in. So this weekend, let's talk about this weekend. So you come off of the high right there of everything that you just accomplished. Time to head back home, and you've got July 5th happening back at H&P. Talk about what we should expect coming up on Saturday night, as it would be.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we can keep up the run. I think that's I mean, we got to change the gears, everything, and just get everything ready for the car and do my perfectly matched set tires, you know? So, I mean, I'm ready for it. Hopefully have a July 4th weekend, maybe have a good week ahead working everything, but Danny's just getting his stuff on and working on the trucks, get everything ready for it.
Other than Mr. Denny, all the other folks, Carson, that make it happen for you, man. Your family, it's a tight unit. We talk about family racing. I tell you, your family is so proud of you, as they should be. Kind of talk about everybody that makes it happen for you.
Oh yes, sir. Tino Propane, GRC, my pops for paying for everything. Appreciate that. Glory to God for keeping me safe in all the race cars. Chad Rogers for building everything on my truck and doing everything he does, and just all the sponsors. Simpson for keeping me safe and everything, and just all of them.
So Carson, as the year has gone on, just with everything and the success that you guys have had, I mean, we start getting into, season will be over here before we know it. Any other plans? I mean, I would assume maybe back with the truck over in December at Five Flags. Any other changes right there where we may see you vaulting into something else?
Well, I've been trying to get into late models, hopefully, but I'm not. I did take a pretty big step into the truck. That was just kind of
Yeah.
like getting out of. That was a pretty big step for me, and I feel like Denny told me like, hey, we have talks in the truck on our 7-hour drive. She's like, I feel like you kind of jumped a little bit too fast, but it's all right. Hopefully we can go testing sometime, maybe in a late model, just to get some time in it. Because that's really just the next step, really. But that's a pretty big budget, to have a race team like that. So you really want to get an offer from somebody and hopefully get your talents out there. Is what I'm thinking maybe for the future.
And I will ask you this, because I know last week we were talking about you guys with the Legacies heading over on the Gulf Coast. Just kind of in a nutshell with those cars. I mean, because they look really cool. I mean, it's a downsized, maybe old, cup car, Grand National type car, very downscaled. Kind of talk about those. I think that the folks are doing a really good job describing engines and so forth. But
yeah,
when it comes down to it, you may not have the horsepower like you're talking about. But when it comes to all corners of those race cars, man, you can adjust every aspect of that damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, people don't really understand how much goes into those cars. Been real small, and people people in Florida didn't even never seen them. They're like super amazed about how small they were. So it was pretty cool talking to them about the cars. But yeah, I mean, all these cars, they come from all over. I mean, but people are selling a bunch of them, and we're trying to get as much as we can at Mobile. We actually talked to Montgomery Motor Speedway owner, I think, at Mobile, and he's trying to get them out there. Maybe is what he was talking to us in the drivers meeting. So that would be pretty cool. Just about 10-hour drive, I think, from here, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're pretty cool. I'm glad I got into it. Just doing my thing in the car. That's all I got to say.
So when you cross the line there at Five Flags, I was watching there on the races. It was going live. Looked like you maybe took a little extra time there to savor that one. What's going through your mind, dude, after you do that? It's like, holy shit, man.
I wish I could play the radio. I think it's like lap 10. I think Riley spun out, or Jamie Corey. Somebody spun out, and I'm telling Denny, I'm yelling, I have no brakes. Do I pull in? He's like, no, stay out there. You're good. And I'm still leading the race. I'm like, no brakes, but I'm just kind of scared for if something wrecks in front of me. I'm trying to dodge it, But yeah, I was trying to look cool with my little victory lap, doing it around one more time. So yeah, it was okay, but I was hoping the gear was going to be okay, because I shifted it into first and turned the car off as I was rolling up to victory lane, and then you could hear it go, yeah. So it's all good, but yeah, there's no other way to stop. I was like, yeah. So
no, absolutely, job well done, my man. You dominated those races, and congratulations on everything. And again, dude, like I said, man, it has been so cool to watch you. You have transformed yourself into just one. I mean, not that you weren't before, but you have transformed yourself into one hell of a race car driver, dude. And
yes, sir, I appreciate that.
I'm glad that I've gotten to see it from the early stages, dude. Good luck this weekend. Go get you 2 more this weekend in Houston.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
All right, man. Take care, buddy.
Yes, sir. You too.
You bet. There he goes, Carson Green, as he doubles up there on the Gulf Coast Tour this past weekend there at Five Flags Speedway and at Mobile International Speedway. He wins both of those races in the Allison Legacy division. And again, those Legacies, you'll see them coming up this weekend there at Houston Motorsports Park, as that's coming up. And then you've got also, because I think the Houston event is going to be really, really cool, because at Houston, you'll have sprint cars. You'll have the big sprint cars that'll be on the pavement there at Houston. Weather looks good. So I think that you shouldn't have any problem with all of that. Also, with the sprint cars in Texas, you'll have great friends of ours, great partners of the program. You'll have Cotton Bowl Speedway, as they will have the Texas Dirt Truck Series. They'll be on the track on that big, wide 3/8 mile Cotton Bowl Speedway happening in Page, Texas on Saturday night. Also, you'll have the Reveal the Hammer series, those super late models that our man Matt Prior was talking about a couple of weeks back with his now new tenure at Birch Run there as director of racing operations. Well, he's still the motor mouth there with the Reveal the Hammer series that's happening on Saturday at Berlin. So all of that coming up, and we are still under a rain delay happening at Oxford Plains for the Celebration of America 300. So we'll take a look and see how that will play itself out. Also, some news that we had in short track racing this past week. The UARA, that's the Ricky Brooks super late model division. They will return to Mobile International Speedway. October the 4th will be the big event there, the super late model 125 happening at Mobile. So that's one that I'm sure you'll have the Bubba Pollards, you'll have Stephen Nasse, you'll have a lot of names that are going to come out and want to run there at that, because Mobile is, man, that is just one monstrous badass racetrack. So all of that will be going on as well. Also, the other bit of news that we saw this week in short track racing coming up on July the 17th, you'll have the Eldora race for high limits. The Joker's Jackpot. $100,000 on the line for that big race for the high limit sprint car series. That one's going to have national television attention, as that will be live on FS1. And again, that's a huge step when you get into these divisions that are getting major traction, that are getting themselves on network TV. And this is where we get back to that whole conversation about, well, it's not Big Fox. Well, you're not going to be on Big Fox on a weeknight or on a week. It's very few and far between that's able to happen. But for high limits, and with the high limits show that they put together, when you want to talk about a very compact, a very efficient program, and then some of the names right there, of course, you're going to have Larson, you're going to have Sweet, you're going to have all of these names, Casey Kane, that are going to be part of this. It's a really big time, I think, for high limits to showcase themselves on FS1, and that'll be coming up on July the 17th. High limits making the big move over to FS1 as they will follow suit right there with what we saw a little bit earlier this year with the Cars Tour. Some of the NASCAR news, the breaking news that we saw today, and this is not really a surprise to me. I don't think it's really a surprise to anybody else, where it says the news, obviously, today that we saw from reported by multiple outlets and then confirmed by Daniel Suarez, that he will not be behind the wheel of the Trackhouse number 99 coming up in 2026. And that really seemed to be inevitable that was not going to happen, because when you look at the seats that are available at Trackhouse, of course, there really is only one, because you've got, Shane Van Gisbergen, who will probably win this weekend at Chicago. That's would be your odds-on favorite, I would think, if you're a betting person that you wanted to lay some money on that type of stuff. That's going to be a guy on the Chicago Street Course that's going to be a favorite this weekend. And of course, then you have obviously Ross Chastain in a very good place there with Trackhouse. It really is Suarez. It was going to be the guy kind of on the outside looking in, which is unfortunate, because the talent that we've seen in Suarez, I think it just hasn't been consistent. You just haven't seen Daniel Suarez. He's got a couple of wins. He's got I think 3 wins with Trackhouse. I may be wrong on that number, but you've got a playoff appearance and so forth, but you just haven't seen the consistency that you see in Chastain, and you don't have the staying power, the potential, the lock yourself into the playoff stuff that you have with Van Gisbergen, to where that dude, you're going to put him on a road course. If you got 4 road course races, that's a dude that's probably going to win at least half of them. So it was that Suarez was going to be the guy left out. And the question goes to what's going to be the next move for him. And I would say that, kind of as a prerequisite to this happening, I think personally, what I would like to see for Daniel Suarez would be for him to maybe take a step back into maybe a junior motorsports car in the Xfinity Series and make a run at winning another championship. We've watched it in the past to where some of these drivers, that they don't get to that in that first or second. Of course, this is his second. This is Suarez's second crack at one of these elite rides, to where you don't go win that championship. You're not constantly in the top 5 or top 10 in points or whatever, to where you take that step back, go to the Xfinity Series and go be the dominant driver in that. And I think with what we saw with him possibly in that junior motorsports thing, maybe that's a platform for him that's moving forward is going to be his next landing spot. Again, that's my opinion, or I would like to see that for Daniel Suarez. the race car driver. I would much rather see him in that spot than in another spot with a team that possibly is not going to produce him the opportunity to be able to run at the elite level of the Cup Series. I saw today where with Dodge coming back in the Truck Series in 2026, to where Tony Breidinger has jumped to the forefront as possibly who Ram wants to have as their face of that brand and so forth. I don't think that would be a move that Suarez should go to go to the Truck Series. I think that possibly latching on with a Junior Motorsports or one of those cars, especially when you look at the Junior Motorsports roster, to where you have these young guys that are looking to move themselves up, that are going to the next spot, that Suarez could slide into one of those and take care of business on the Xfinity side. Obviously, I would guess that it's going to be Connor Zilic. That would be in the number 99 car moving forward for Trackhouse. That seems to be that move right there. I don't see anything that's going to tell me that would be different. The timing is just perfect, the way that all of this happens. But again, it seems like a very amicable situation. And I think that it's great for Trackhouse and for Danny that they're doing this early in the silly season, to where his services will be known that they're available, and possibly he can land that next spot for himself. So again, we'll follow that, but that was the news. And as we talked about, big win for Chase Elliott at Atlanta as they head to the Chicago Street Course coming up, and you'll catch that this weekend. Coming up tomorrow, we'll find over with our friends on Flow, because we talked about, and JD kind of touched on it as well, as you'll have the Cars Tour over at Caraway. You'll have the Firecracker 265. So that right there will be a great Hump Day Wednesday race in action that you'll be able to check in on over at Caraway. Again, a great spot right there to watch racing. So be sure and check that out as well. Great program, a little bit of an abbreviated program. Almost canceled this show tonight because I knew that we had the celebration of America 300. But the good thing, luckily for me, what this was, that I had already reached out to JD Bowser and Carson Green. They're like, dude, we are locked in. We want to be a part of the show. We want to be live. And it worked out. And we happen to have the rain delay and the weather thing happening over there at Oxford Plains. So continue to watch the socials on Racing America and see how that all shakes out. Again, the whole caveat to this is you do have a full Wednesday racing program that's already in place. So whatever you may not get to tonight, if that indeed is the case, hopefully you'll be able to get all of that put together and do that tomorrow. Thank you all for being a part of the live broadcast right here of #Real Race Talk. Flying solo tonight from the state of Texas. Friends, July 4th weekend, Independence Day weekend. Please, please, please use the best responsibility that you can, whether you're going to be out on a boat, whether you're going to be out on the highways. Hopefully you're going to find a racetrack. If you're not going to find a racetrack, you're going to find a streamer that's going to give you the best possible racing entertainment that you can find. But celebrate the independence. That is the best place to live in the country. Do that, and do that in the smartest fashion that you can. I'll bid you adieu one final time tonight on a Tuesday night. We'll do it again next Tuesday night. Actually, next Tuesday night, I will be live from, where am I going to be? No, I'll be here. I'm going to be in Houston over the weekend. I'm not able to get to HMP, but I've got some other work stuff, but I will be back live here. We'll do it again on next Tuesday night. RevvedUpSportsShow.com, all of your live or all of your archive replays on YouTube, on X, and of course on Racing America. Check out all of those socials. Friends, enjoy your July 4th. Have a hot dog for me. Have a cold one for me. My name is Rodney Rodriguez from deep in the heart of Texas. This has been the Revved Up Sports Show. You guys enjoy your 3-day weekend.